So glad to have the opportunity to be here with you this evening. And I remember when I was with CAPS years ago. This is my second stint. I was in the CAPS office from February 1996 for 10 years. Then I had an opportunity to leave and go to Chicago Public Schools. And I was director of 311 for a couple of years, and I came back to CAPS last July. And what just really strikes me this evening is that many of the stalwart leaders in this community were here in 1994 and 1995 during my first stint, and they're still here today. Ms. Newsom and Dr. Lee and many others, of course, are people that have dedicated their lives to this community. So I learned by their example, and I appreciate this brief opportunity to speak with you. Let me get the official stuff over first. I will send a note from the mayor's office to be his representative on tonight. So I want to be official, and as his representative, tell you that he sends his regrets that he could not be here today. He has had a very long day, and he had an obligation that kept him from being with you this evening, but that is no reflection on the importance of what he's doing. Matter of fact, I had the opportunity to be with him this morning in Ogden Park as he announced a new initiative, an expansion of an initiative on curfew, which will begin this weekend. And in a nutshell, the curfew initiative is really about saving lives, bottom line. If we're honest about what we see and what we have experienced, we have too many young people that are not old enough at an age of responsibility that are really out all night. And this is an effort not to penalize them, it's an effort really to save their lives. So I support the curfew effort, and I think it's so important. And if with your voices and with your example of leadership, if the young people that you come in contact with, encourage them as we approach this summer, and it's here already. Encourage them to find some responsible activities and things to do and to stay off the corners, right? Can we do that? All right, thank you so much. I acknowledge Dr. Lee and Ms. Newsom. I also want to acknowledge the aldermen who I've worked with in a number of capacities over several years and who I know is very committed to this community. And I just want to say congratulations to you as well. So it's good to see you. I promise I'll be quick. I just have a couple of things that I'd like to mention. I'm glad to be here with my friends and colleagues and people that I respect and work with. Obviously, James Jackson, and also Chief Scahill, two people that I have worked very close with over the last year, and who I will look anybody in the eye and tell them that they love the city of Chicago and they love all its people. And I think before you can do any good job, you got to like and love people. And if we had that kind of prerequisite for most folks who serve the community in any given capacity, we would do a much better job. So I'm glad to be here with them. I tried to get them to speak, but they wouldn't take my place, but they wouldn't do it. So what do I say to you in the next 3 minutes? Well, first of all, I want to commend you on what you're doing, and I know that many of you have been doing it for a long, long time in various capacities. And I just simply want to say that please don't grow weary in well-doing, because now is probably the most critical time in our lifetime that we need you. Every time you cut on the news, what's the first thing outside of the information on the horrible violence that's taking place? The first thing you see is a message about what? Some budget cut somewhere, right? On a federal level, on a state level, city level, right? So it is critically important that we have people that are willing to stand up in the community and to volunteer and to do what you do in order that we can save lives and we can keep young people directed on the right path. So what you're doing with CAPS is so important. You know, I listen to all the radio programs, and I'm constantly listening to the answers for many of the tragic incidents and the things that we are experiencing, the latest with Officer Worthing. And I rarely hear people talk about personal responsibility. You know, I often hear enough about what we need, even in times where we know budgets are issues, we need more police. We need the government to do more of